Introducing Warlander, a PvP free-to-play MOBA. It's set in a medieval era with magic and a bit of technology you wouldn't see in a medieval game. For anyone out there, this game may seem familiar. That's because this game is a sequel to Happy Wars that's no longer cartoony and has more realistic maps. This game has some lore in the medium of videos. There are currently 7 of them, but each of them explaining a bit of the lore. As such, I will show 2 of the lore videos to get you up to date.
Skullheims, oases where miraculous aura coalesces. Should the people make their thoughts as one, whatever they imagine, the aura shall make it so, granting blessings in times of desperation, and providing the people with fertile land and bountiful harvest. However, since time immemorial, wherever a Skullheim may be found, there will be war. The roaring lion, the noble unicorn, the matchless dragon and maiden of war, and the smiling djinn. 5 warlords suddenly appeared bearing these sigils. Over the ashes of fallen kingdoms, they lead into battle demigods of supreme strength, with the power to call upon blazing flame and mighty thunder, to heal any affliction, even death. They are known as Warlander. Deep within the depths of each Skullheim lies the very heart of Aura. The warlords encountered a powerful presence shrouded in wonder. I am one who serves the High Law, now yours to command. Great Lord, confess to me your desires, and I shall make them so. So spoke the being to each warlord. And what they desired, think thee it be peace, prosperity beyond measure? Nay, for in this world cursed by endless war, there can be but one wish. An army of immortal soldiers against whom no enemy shall stand. So answered the 5 warlords as if in unison. And thus the presence in whom divine knowledge and imagination intertwine. Created from crystallized aura, that which births those indomitable soldiers. The Bethlet cause. So long as these artifacts hold, the immortal soldiers shall be born unceasingly, and the eternal war must go on.
There are currently 3 game modes, those being 2 Army Battle, 5 Army Battle, and 2 Army Great Battle, with each game mode rotating after some time. 2 Army Battle is pretty simple. Each team has 20 players and you win by being the first team to destroy the other team's core. However, if time runs out and both cores are at the same HP, all gates will be destroyed and both team cores' HP will be set to 5%. There is also a chance for the game mode to become hard mode. When hard mode is active, it will play out the same as normal mode except when the time is up, and both the cores have the same HP. The team with the most towers will win. Next we got 5 Army Battle. There are 5 teams, each team having 20 people for a total of 100 players. After a team core gets destroyed, the best squad of that team will be transferred over to the team that destroyed their core. After that, there is 2 Army Great War. That's the same as 2 Army Battle, but instead of having 20v20, it's 48 versus 48. Now let's get into the characters. There are currently 3 characters you can choose from. A warrior that has high melee damage and has high HP that can either be a high damage dealer or a tank, depending on the skills you pick. With their ultimate skills being Colossus, where they take less damage, and cannot be staggered. Spell Blade does a yell that knocks back all enemies and makes all your attacks unblockable for a bit, and can be extended by getting kills. And Typhon Shield that blows away enemies. Ultimate skills can only be used by characters that have a tier 5 title equipped on them. I'll talk about titles later on. Next, there's the Cleric that has decent health and has a weaker attack than the Warrior. The Cleric is a support class with skills to help other teammates such as Healed, Shield, but also has skills to help teammates such as a Warp Gate that lets squad members teleport to it, and a wall that can block a path for a bit of time. The Cleric's ultimate skills are supportive. First, we got Sanctuary that gives you a heal and an instant revive around you that's great to change the tide of battle. Harvest Dance that can be used to grant speed and attack buffs and armor to teammates that pick up the food that spawns off it. With Turret Walls being the only offensive ultimate that builds a wall with a door only your teammates can go through with 2 machine guns on top of it that target enemies. Now, before we talk about the Wizard, there are 2 other things I need to talk about that affect both Cleric and Warrior, but not Wizard. First, when it comes to melee combat, you can block with your shield or attack with a basic attack, or use a stagger attack that cannot be blocked, but it's a bit slower than a basic attack. When you stagger an enemy, the screen will darken and you'll be able to see a heart on them. If you land a hit on the heart, your attack will crit, dealing more damage to them. Second, both the Cleric and the Warrior get a secondary weapon in the form of a crossbow or a rock thrower, basically a medieval gun. These guns are good at medium and close range, but are horrible at long range, as they lose damage the further away the bullet goes. The last class is the Mage. This is the squishiest class, but has the strongest range attacks. Unlike the Warrior and the Cleric, the Mage has no shield or melee weapons, instead of using magic for his basic attack. He has 4 different types of elemental damage: fire, wind, electric, and ice that affect players they hit differently. Fire will set enemies ablaze, forcing them into a flee animation where they can't attack. Electric damage that slows enemies hit, and ice damage that freezes enemies. The Wizard's ultimates are thunderstorms, where you basically call a thunderstorm in front of you that shoots thunder all around you and basically kills anyone that does not run away. Phoenix that will send out a phoenix that will blow up in the air and deal damage from the falling fire, but it will not set the ground ablaze. With his last ultimate skill being Frostbane. Frostbane gives the Wizard an ice minigun with a high fire rate and ice missiles to use. Now let's get into the main game. When the game starts, you'll be placed inside your team's castle. You will have to wait 30 seconds before you can go. This is usually when everyone will do their team skills to buff each other. Once the gates open, you can rush to a tower to capture it. After a while, an idol may appear in both the bases. This idol can be a defensive totem that can capture a tower and make it unable to be captured by an enemy for a while. An orbital laser that deals massive damage and sets the enemy ablaze, a meteor storm that deals massive damage and lasts for quite a bit of time, a tornado that can destroy all wooden structures and can pick up and throw enemies to their deaths, but it will also slow your teammates. In rarer cases, a mech may even spawn that 4 people can ride, 1 controlling it, and 3 people that can use the turrets on it. Each castle has 2 types of turrets on it, and oil bowls that you can use to defend the castle. Also, each team can build siege machines to break the doors of the castle to get in. There are 3 siege machines. The first is a catapult that is usually in the middle of the map that throws flaming rocks that can one-shot players and can be used to destroy gates from afar. Next, there is a battering ram that can be used to destroy gates in a single hit and can be upgraded to give it more HP, but it will need to be pushed to use it on a gate. The last siege machine is a giant staircase on wheels with 2 flaming torches in the front to destroy gates. Unlike the ram, it will take some time for the siege machine to destroy gates, but since it has a staircase, you can just climb it to get into the enemy castle. After a match is over, you'll receive 5 items that can be armor, weapons, skills, or even cosmetics in very rare cases that will be of random quality. You can dismantle these items to earn silver, which is the game's currency that can be used to buy skills or gear. Now that we're done with the gameplay, let's talk about the customization. Each character has 3 armor types that you can choose from that gives you a slight boost to one set, but you'll only be able to wear armor of the matching type. Every piece of equipment has a perk that can slightly buff you from more HP to more damage. Each character has a customization point limit that limits the gear and skills you can equip. On top of that, the better the gear and the skill, the more it will cost. If you want more customization points, you can change the title. That will raise the total customization points, but they will cost deploy points, so you won't be able to use them right at the start of a game. Deploy points are earned by defeating enemies, capturing structures, building, executing enemies, reviving allies, assist and damaging the enemy core and your core being attacked. There are 5 tiers to titles. Tier 1 costs 50 points to spawn in as, Tier 2 costs 100 points, Tier 3 200, and Tier 4 costs 400 points. Then we got Tier 5, which costs 1600 points to spawn in, but unlike the rest comes with 2 bonuses. One being a weapon or shield that's legendary, and second, an ultimate that only that title has. However, most titles are locked, but you can unlock titles by completing the requisite needed by using that character. But it will only be for that character and not character type. So if I unlock Soul Eater on night 1, only night 1 will be able to use it, unless I do the requirements again for night 2. You can create up to 5 characters, but at least one of them needs to be titleless. Once you're done, you can place them in decks. Decks are basically what 5 characters you're going to use for that match. You don't need to worry about decks unless you buy more character slots. Next up, we got the shop. Here you can use all the silver you earned and gold, which you can buy with real money. Gold can be used to buy keys that can be used in a gacha that has a random accessory in it. Gold can also be used to buy accessories and player looks. Buy paint pigments that can change the color on one piece of armor and other stuff. While you can use silver to buy skill scrolls to unlock that skill or to level it up. There are also weapons and armors for each class, and there are also mercenaries, which are pre-built characters you can use for a couple of games. After the shop, there is the season pass that is free. It has 50 levels and offers loot every level. Then we got Union, that is faction ranking and ranking. At the end of the season, you will earn rewards depending on your ranking. Here are my general thoughts after playing the game. The main 2-army battle is pretty fun to play, that's great with friends. Each character is well balanced and does a good job in their niche, unlike its predecessor Happy Wars. Warlander is very balanced and does not allow an old player to demolish a team by themselves. Now there is one issue, that is the low player base. This is an issue as if the game cannot find enough players, it will fill the rest of the slots with bots, which has its pros and its cons. The pro is that it makes the game feel full. The con is that bots have map-wide awareness that makes attacking an enemy castle impossible, since as soon as you capture a tower near their base or attack the enemy gate, they will stop what they're doing, teleport back to the castle and attack you. This means that almost all games will result in overtime. However, if you get a game where there are more players than bots, then the game becomes extremely fun, since people will use their team skills that can change the tide of battle. Overall, Warlander is a good sequel to Happy Wars and a great medieval MOBA with teamwork, but it suffers due to its low player count. If you want to try it out for yourself, it's free to play on Steam, Xbox One, Xbox One Series X and S, and the PS5. This game is also cross-platform, so you can play with Xbox, PS, and PC players on your lobbies.